Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 117 of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast. Me, your host, Olu Oke. And yes, I've got another bumper episode for your listening pleasure. Back to the regular scheduler program. You know, AFCON draw's been done now. We know who we're going to face in March. So back to the usual weekly updates on how our players have performed over the past week. Of course, today's transfer deadline day. So if there's any changes in terms of moves or transfers, I'll be sure to let you know either today or in next week's episode. But without any further ado, let's get cracking, started with the Premier League as usual. So what do you see in the Premier League? I mean, Nottingham Forest, talk about bouncing back, guys, man. Like, I don't even know if we could use that word, but Aina and Tella man, what a performance, what a story for Nottingham Forest. You know, after they got thrashed 5-0 the previous week, they then hammered their own team. So they gave Brighton 7-0. 7 unreplied goals on Saturday. Yes, Chris Wood had a hat-trick. Aina, of course, got a clean sheet again. Taiwo only played the last 8 minutes, so not a massive amount of minutes for him there. But you have to admit that the way Chris Wood is going, there's no way anybody was going to be benching him or taking significant minutes off him. So honestly, what a wonderful performance for them, and they're now back to third. Chelsea played tonight, Monday Night Football. The game kicks off in just over an hour. If Chelsea win, Chelsea would then go back to fourth, but Forest will still remain above them. So it's all going pretty well for the boys. You can't even argue at all. One thing to note, though, is this coming week there's no Premier League football, so it's going to be it's going to be FA Cup games. So we're going to see Nottingham Forest play Exeter away, so they'll be looking to get into the 5th round of the FA Cup, which they should do fairly easily. As for the Fulham boys in 9th place, they got yet another impressive win away from home at St James's Park. They beat Newcastle United 2-1. Initially they were losing 1-0, so really good performance from the Fulham boys. Both their strikers did what they had to do. I mean, if you see Jimenez's goal, well taken. Muniz's goal, you know, even though Jimenez was not happy that he got taken off, but that's why they say the coach is right sometimes, whether you like it or not. So really impressive result, and good to see both of our boys performing well. Next up for the Fulham boys, they play Wigan away in the FA Cup, so look out for that one on Saturday, 4 p.m. Nigeria time. As for the Leicester boys, we know Ndidi's getting closer to a return, although Leicester, they got thrashed 4-0 over the weekend by Everton, so safe to say it's not looking good for them at all. You know, to be honest, they need Ndidi back ASAP. They're currently 17th. They're just above the relegation zone, if not in the relegation zone. I need to check the table with how Wolves performed over the weekend, because I know Wolves beat Aston Villa. So, in fact, let's just say they must be begging Ndidi, like whatever is happening. Yeah, there we go. So Leicester are back in the relegation zone. They're 2 points behind Wolverhampton. So it's not looking good for them at all. But hopefully, if Ndidi can come back, he'll be able to help them. Next up, though, before any Premier League games, we'll see Ndidi and Leicester. Well, if Ndidi's back fit, but they go away to Old Trafford on Friday in the FA Cup 4th round. As everybody knows, right now, Man United are giving away 3 points. The irony of life is everybody's just collecting from them. But we've seen them put on good performances in Europe and in the FA Cup, so you just never know with how United are playing. But safe to say that we will not be surprised if Leicester somehow win this game. Of course, Leicester are being managed by Ruud van Nistelrooy, Manchester United legend, so I think there's an interesting subplot there, and it would be nice if you could dunk on United some more. Of course, you know United knocked out Arsenal, which is crazy to think about right now. As for Southampton, finally some good news for the Southampton boys. In fact, double good news in this game, because Southampton went away to Ipswich to Portman Road and beat Ipswich 2-1 for only their second win of the season to now move up to 9 points. And guess what? The first goal was scored by Jeraribo, and then the winner was scored by Polonwachu. So perfect day all around for Nigerian footballers, and I just love the influence we're having in the team. Looking at least they won't go down with a fight. It's looking very likely they'll go down for sure. But when you have people like Onuachu showing his hunger and trying to make a name for himself in England, it's really lovely to see. And Aribo keeps ticking along. You know, hopefully he could get back into contention with the national team, because if people playing in MLS can get called up, then I'm sorry, there's no reason why Aribo should not be called up, you know. So look out for that one. Next up for them, they play Burnley at home on Saturday in the FA Cup too. So FA Cup games for everybody. In other results that took place not involving Nigerian footballers, we saw Liverpool beat Bournemouth 2-0 away. Really good performance from them. Mo Salah. I mean, yes, they rode their luck at certain points. You know, you can argue that Clivert should not have missed his open goal. Semenyo hit the bar. But hey, the look of champions is when you still find a way to win. And it must be said that one thing Liverpool did, they found a way to win this game. So kudos to them and shout out to them. It looks like they're going to run away with the league. Wolverhampton beat Aston Villa 2-0 at home. Great finish by Cunha for the second goal. And he signed a new contract, so good luck to them. As for Man United, you know, it's just open season for everybody. Mateta with the brace. Crystal Palace ran riot. No surprise there. In fact, Man United lose so often these days that it's not a surprise. Let's just take it as it is. If you have any Man United friends, if they like to rub it in, make sure you rub it in their faces that they're really useless. If they're nice people, you could be nice to them. But hey, as an Arsenal fan who grew up in the Sir Alex and Wenger time, United's misery makes me very, very happy. So more of that, please. More of that. We need more. And somehow Tottenham beat Brentford 2-0 away. I mean, very impressive result, it must be said, by Tottenham. I did not see that one coming. But, you know, these things happen. And, of course, the result of the weekend, Arsenal. What can I say? I mean, we scored the first goal very early on, so it was 1-0 after 2 minutes. But when Haaland scored the equalizer, I said, no, not again. Here we go again. But my boy said, don't worry, Olu, today we're going to keep you happy and all the Arsenal fans happy. And what did? We rummed to a 5-1 mauling of Man City. Like, honestly, back, flogging everywhere. Partey, 2-1 up. Next thing you know, Lewis Skelly scores his first goal for Arsenal. Fantastic finish, 3-1. As if that's not enough, even so Kai Havertz finished like a striker. You know, look at the transition play. I haven't even seen that from Arsenal in so long. Martinez running with the ball and actually raising his head up to then pass the ball to Havertz. Havertz gets the ball. Jinky me jinkies are Konji straight. Left foot, bends into the bottom corner. I was like, wow, Havertz, where have you been? And then as if it could not even get any better, stoppage time, I see Declan Rice ping a ball 50 yards straight to Ethan Nwaneri. Igbo boy, just shift the ball straight to his left foot, banged it in, top bins for his 7th goal for Arsenal this season already. I mean, what can you say about the kid, man? Unbelievable talent, unbelievable win. Hopefully it won't be for nothing like some of our big results, but it must be said that this was a monumental win for Arsenal, and God knows I was so proud to watch my boys, because Man City have shown us supreme shege a lot of times, so it's about time that we showed them shege back, and that was amazing to see. So how does the table look? To be honest, not much has changed. Liverpool are top, 56 points, Arsenal second, 50 points. You then have Nottingham Forest and Man City. Nottingham Forest are third, 47 points, then Man City and Newcastle are fourth and fifth on 41 points. With Chelsea and Bournemouth rounding up the top 7, Chelsea and Bournemouth both have 40 points. If Chelsea win today, Chelsea will go fourth above Man City. But hey, you never know with how Chelsea been performing at home. And, he's been looking quite decent for West Ham, so I just don't know what to expect in that one. But hopefully, last will be a tasty game, Sha. So look out for that one. And there's all to play for this season, you know. So look out for that. All the promoted sides are in the bottom 3. Ipswich, Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton, and I don't know, it's not looking good for any of them, but we shall see, especially because Everton and everyone above 16th has pretty much pushed away. So it's basically Wolves, Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton, 4 teams fighting for just one of them to survive. And you have to say, when you look at the firepower of Wolves, with Cunha especially, it looks like that might just give them the edge. So that's it in terms of the Premier League for this week. As I said, the Premier League is taking a break. This next week that's coming, there's no Premier League games over the weekend. There will be the double game week fixture for Liverpool and Everton, which was rescheduled. That was supposed to be played in December. That has now been rescheduled until the 12th of February. So that'll take place next week, Wednesday. So obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I'm hoping that Moisey and Cole can do us a favor, but it's not going to be easy in that one. So look out for that game, and it should be a great watch. Moving on to Serie A, Lookman, we know he's out for a few weeks, as I mentioned. He did not play in Atalanta's 2-2 draw against Barcelona last week in the Champions League. However, Atalanta have been drawn with Club Brugge in the playoffs for the Champions League, and that's because they finished 9th. So if they were in the top 8, they would have automatically qualified to the round of 16. But now they have to play that bye against Onyedika's Club Brugge. But you have to say that they would be the favorites to win that game. In Serie A, though, they disappointed and they got a draw against Torino 1-1 on Saturday. So that was not a good result. So look out for them there. But of course, we'll let you know once Lookman is back fit. As for Dele-Bashiru, man, I don't know what's wrong with Lazio, man. They begin to piss me off. In the league, in Europa, yes, we know they did well already, which is why that they didn't panic too much because they're already top of their group. But still, they did lose their game against Braga 1-0. Dele-Bashiru played 90 minutes in that game. And then in Serie, there will be in action later tonight as they host Monza. Wait, is it? No, they play Cagliari at home tonight. Sorry. So that game kicks off in just under an hour. So let's see if Dele-Bashiru starts and gets some game time. After that game, they'll play Monza on Sunday in Serie as well. So look out for that one. As for Samuel Chukwueze, he played 45 minutes. AC Milan's 2-1 loss to Dynamo Zagreb last week. However, this means that they will now play PSV in the playoffs. So look out for that one for AC Milan. He also played 4 minutes in the Milan derby yesterday. It ended 1-1. Milan looked like we were about to win the game 1-0, but last minute, Stefan de Vrij, yet another goal. Like, Milan, just see the game out, bro. Like, what are you doing? They keep wasting Tijani Reinder's goals. Have you seen this Tijani Reinder's kid, man? This central midfielder, he's always bagging, always gunning. Like, honestly, he's impressive. But anyway, they wasted his goal yet again. But anyway, on Wednesday, they play Roma in the Coppa Italia at 8 o'clock, and then they play Empoli away on Saturday. In the Bundesliga, the good news is we saw Boniface return this weekend for Bayer Leverkusen, even though he was initially dropped last week because we thought he would go to Al Nassr. Initially, in the Champions League, we saw Tella score his first Champions League goal last week, Wednesday, as Bayer Leverkusen beat Sparta Prague 2-0. So congrats to you, Tella, and I'm hoping we'll see you in the next Nigeria squad. Leverkusen have qualified automatically to the round of 16, so that's good news for our Nigerian boys. However, on Sunday, Tella was subbed off just before halftime, which looks like it may have been an injury-related thing, while Boniface played 45 minutes and scored on his return. Really, really good finish with his left foot. It's trademark Boniface, to be honest. And I saw some clickbait video by Paul Sports, but you know, Nigeria, they have to hustle for content. Someone's trying to say Boniface is not better than Jackson. Like, come on, let's not lie. And then this whole, like, let's lie because we want content stuff. It's not nice and it's not good for players to see. Or it's even good for your credibility as a sports organization. So do better, please. We need to raise the level of our players and show them how great they are, not be trying to double down on nonsense because we want content or shock value. So I thought that was pretty poor to see. But anyway, good to see Boniface back in the goals. It was his 50th appearance for Bayer Leverkusen. In that time, he scored 30 goals and got 10 assists. By any metric, that's a very, very good return. So long may his reign continue, and I'm very, very glad he's not going to Saudi Arabia. I think the time for Saudi will come, you know, so put your head down, Boniface, and let's keep shining. Next up for Leverkusen, they play Cologne at home on Wednesday in the DFB Pokal, and then on Saturday they go to Wolfsburg away to play 3:30 p.m. Nigeria time. As for Frank Onyeka, he played 70 minutes as Orban drew 1-1 against St. Pauli on Saturday. They're still relatively safe from the relegation zone, so nothing to worry about or panic there. Next up for Onyeka and Orban, they play Stuttgart away tomorrow in the DFB Pokal. Stuttgart's form has been a bit shaky in the past few weeks, so you never know. Orban might just be able to pull off the upset there. And then after that, they play Mainz away on Saturday, which should be a much more difficult game. But fingers crossed, let's see how this goes. As for Hoffenheim, of course, Victor Boniface was not in the Europa League squad because he just made the move there. So it's now that the initial group stage games have taken place. Now, teams can now register any players that they've just signed. So expect Victor Boniface, although Hoffenheim did not make it in the Europa League anyway, so there's no European football for Victor Boniface. But that's okay. Akpoguma did play 90 minutes as Hoffenheim lost 4-3 to Anderlecht on Thursday. They're now out of the Europa League, and probably for the good, because at the moment they're just above the relegation zone in Bundesliga and they need to focus on retaining their status in Germany. The good news is we saw Akpoguma play 90 minutes and Victor Boniface came off the bench to score the consolation goal for Hoffenheim. So it was 3-1 at the end, which, you know, it's Leverkusen, you're going to lose. But at least Orban has now scored 2 goals in his last 2 games for Hoffenheim. And very, very soon, I'm sure he'll start games and his goals will mean more towards either winning or drawing games for the relegation threatened side. Next up for them, they play Union Berlin at home on Saturday, so look out for that one. And then in terms of La Liga, Uche played 77 minutes. Bordela's team reverted back to type after beating Real Sociedad 3-0 away last week. Of course, they had to follow it up with a 0-0 draw. Probably the most boring team in the whole of Europe, at least the top 5 leagues and Getafe. So, of course, they drew 0-0 against Sevilla on Saturday. So, no surprises there. Next up for them, they play Atletico Madrid away on Wednesday. So, look out for that one in the Copa del Rey. And then they play Deportivo Alaves away on Sunday. As for Sevilla, Iheanacho is about to move to Middlesbrough on loan. No surprise there. I think the championship is probably his level. and I doubt he'll even succeed there, to be honest. He just needs to be a better professional and knuckle down, but I don't have too much to say on him. Chidera Ejuke did come on to play the final 24 minutes in this game as he continues his recovery from injury, while Akwa Adams played the final 9 minutes in this game for Sevilla in their 0-0 draw against Getafe. Next up for Sevilla, though, it does not get any easier. They go away to play Barcelona next week Sunday, so look out for that game, 9 p.m. Nigeria time, and hopefully we'll see Akwa Adams start this game and Chidera Ejuke potentially. As for Valencia, Omar Sadiq played 24 minutes as Valencia beat Celta Vigo 2-1 on Sunday. Much needed win for the struggling team. Valencia are currently in the relegation zone, so they need this one to really pay off for them. Next up for them, though, they play Barcelona on Thursday in the Copa del Rey, so just say they're going to lose that game automatically. And then they play Leganes at home on Sunday, so that's a much more important tie, I'd say, for them, considering their status in La Liga at the moment. And hopefully Omar Sadiq can start some games in the league. Finally, in League 1, Moses Simon played 90 minutes as Nantes beat Reims 2-1 on Sunday. Another good performance from him. Next up for them, they play Brest at home on Friday, so look out for that one, 7 p.m. Nigeria time. Hamza Al-Jadiran came off the bench late in the game, got a yellow card as Lens beat Montpellier 2-0 on Friday, so they continue to push for Europe. Lens are currently 6th in the league. Next up for them, they play Nice away on Saturday. And finally, Gabriel Osho was on the bench as Auxerre lost 4-2 against Monaco. I mean, it's Monaco, so they're one of the better teams in France, so there's no shame there, but hopefully we'll see Osho back in the starting lineup soon. And that's it in terms of the top 5 leagues in Europe. So moving on to the non-top 5 leagues in Europe as usual, starting with Turkey. Victor Osimhen was in action over the week as Galatasaray lost 2-1 to Ajax. He did score the goal for Galatasaray though, but it has to be said that Galatasaray, they've been scoring 1 or 2 goals max in their recent games. They've not been exactly performing well, even though they haven't necessarily been losing a lot of these games. The good news is Osimhen has 7 goals in his last 7 games, including 1 assist, and he has scored in his last 4 games for Galatasaray, so that's amazing to see. And at the very least, we know Galatasaray have qualified for the knockout rounds of the Europa League, so we'll continue to see our star player in action in Europe. Next up for Galatasaray, though, they play tonight in the Turkish League against Gaziantep, so that's going to be a very, 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 very serious game because we know that Fenerbahce have clawed back the lead to just 3 points, so Galatasaray need to win today, so look out for that one with our boy in action tonight. After that, he'll be in action in the Turkish Cup on Thursday when they play Boluspor away, and then they play Demirspor at home on Sunday, 5 p.m. kickoff in Nigeria. Speaking of Gaziantep, David Okereke should be in action for Gaziantep tonight, so let's see if he could put on a good show for his team in 9th place in Turkey. They will also be in action in Turkish Cup this midweek. On Thursday they play Göztepe, and then they play Sivasspor at home on Sunday. As for Osayi-Samuel, he was not in the squad as Fenerbahce drew 2-2 against FC Midtjylland of Denmark in the Europa League. Fenerbahce luckily finished 24th, which is the final spot you could qualify from, which means that they will face Anderlecht in the round of 16 playoffs to go to the round of 16. He was also on the bench on Sunday as Fenerbahce came from behind to win 3-2 on Sunday against Rizespor. Dodgy goal, you have to say. They were 2-0 down. Next thing you know, their opponents got a red card. They scored 3 goals. One was penalty, but in Turkey, it's all these penalties they give them. Let's just say it gets as you be. But you know what? Fair enough. I don't need to talk too much. As for Rizespor, though, Babajide Akintola got an assist, and Ibrahim Olawi got the assist for Rizespor in this game. But then one of them was also sent off. So not the best, but at least Fenerbahce won, sha. Next up, Fenerbahce, they play Turkish Cup on Wednesday against Erzurumspor, and then they play Alanyaspor on Sunday. In Portugal, we saw Zedu Sanusi play 15 minutes off the bench in Porto's 1-0 win over Maccabi Tel Aviv on Thursday. Porto finished 18th, so they will now play Roma in the playoff round before the round of 16. And then also Porto play Rio Ave away tonight. So let's see if our boy Sanusi could get some games. I know that Galeno, the winger who's been playing makeshift left back, he got sold to the Saudi League yesterday. So hopefully that means Sanusi should be playing more games, or hopefully that's what I hope for, Sha. So fingers crossed on that one, and hopefully that will be the case indeed. Next up for Porto after their game tonight, they play Sporting Lisbon at home on Friday in what's going to be a blockbuster game. If Porto don't win this game, forget about the title. All three teams have been struggling in Portugal, which is very, very bizarre. But safe to say that this one will be a massive one, especially with Porto being the home side on Friday. And then, as we've already mentioned, we know that Onyemaechi has moved to Greece, so no more Boavista updates. However, we did get some good news that Benfica have signed a Nigerian player. So Benfica have signed Edokpolo Peter Osayande. He signed for Benfica after being scouted at Galadima FC in Abuja. No information right now on if he's going to play for the first team or the B team, but considering his age, 18 years old, and he came straight from Nige, I would assume he'll probably start in the B team. But watch this space and we'll look out for if he gets some game time for Benfica. I think that's a big, big move, so let's see how this one goes. As for Onyemaechi, he was not in the squad for Olympiacos in their 1-0 win yesterday. I don't know if it has something to do with his contract or the fact he's just joined. But let's see if he plays against Panathinaikos at home on Wednesday in the Greek Cup, and then they play Asteris Tripolis at home on Sunday. The good news is Olympiacos are top of the league, so I'm hoping that Onyemaechi can get some of that championship experience down his belt. As for Belgium, Tolera Kodari played 90 minutes as Genk beat Berchut 1-0 on Saturday. Surprisingly, he did not score for a change, but we wish him all the best as he continues to go forward. Next up for Genk, they play Club Brugge on Wednesday in the Belgian Cup. Look out for that one. That should be a tasty game. And then they play Cercle Brugge at home on Saturday in the league. As for Club Brugge, they lost 3-1 to Man City in the Champions League last week, Wednesday. However, Onyedika scored a great goal. He opened the scoring to make it 1-0 for Club Brugge. Always good to see our Nigerian players shining, especially on the biggest stage, even though it's a Man City team that's, weak at the moment. The good thing for Brugge, because they finished 24th, they'll be playing Atalanta in the round of 16 playoffs, so that'll be a tough game, but at least we have two Nigerians that'll be in action in that game when the time comes, which is always exciting to look forward to. One thing to then note, over the weekend, Club Brugge lost 2-1 to Royal Antwerp. Very, very surprising to see, but to be fair, Club Brugge can't win every game in Belgium. Next up for them, though, they play Genk away on Wednesday in the Belgian Cup, and then they play OH Leuven at home, and I'm sure they'll be keen to get back to winning ways as soon as possible. As for Jordan Torunariga, he played 90 minutes in Genk's 1-0 win over Anderlecht on Sunday. Next up for him, they play KV Mechelen away on Friday. In Scotland, we saw Cyril Dessers play 90 minutes and get an assist, while Leon Balogun was not in the squad as Rangers beat Union Saint-Gilloise 2-1. This means that Rangers finished 8th in the Europa League group stages, and they've qualified automatically to the round of 16, so they'll know who they're going to face in 2 weeks' time. However, in the league on Sunday, Dessers played 90 minutes as Rangers beat Ross County on Sunday, but Dessers did not score in this game. Next up for them, they play Queen's Park at home on Sunday in the Scottish Cup, so that should be a bit of a whitewash. In the Czech Republic, Igor Ugbo was on the bench for Slavia Prague. They drew 2-2 against Malmo, and they finished 30th anyway. They were absolutely rubbish. They were crap, man. Go home. I don't even know. This is a team that almost made the Champions League. Can you imagine what kind of stinkfest that would have been? And yet they finished 30th in the Europa League group stage. Next time they'll say we should give these smaller countries more slots. But look how they did. But anyway, as they maintained first, he then played 90 minutes over the weekend as they beat Mlada Boleslav 1-0 on Sunday. As for Victor Olatunji, who plays for Sparta Prague on the other side of Prague, he played 6-7 minutes and got a yellow card as Sparta Prague lost 2-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. They, of course, also finished 31st in the Champions League, and they've been dumped out. To be honest, they were a bit of a waste of space. But over the weekend, he played 44 minutes in their 2-0 win of Slovako, so shout out to him and his team. Next up for them, they play Hradec Kralov at home on Sunday. And finally, in the PSL, we saw Stanley Nobali play 90 minutes, get a yellow card as well, but he made one save as Chippa United lost 1-0 to Polokwane City in the South Africa PSL. So not the best result for the boys there. But next up for him, they play Magesi FC away on Tuesday. That'll be 6:30 p.m. in Nigeria time. And then they play TS Galaxy away on Saturday. So that's it in terms of the roundup of how our players performed all through the past week. Ones to watch for the coming week ahead. Today is Monday, February 3rd. So tomorrow, Tuesday, February 4th, we'll see Quintatus Uche's Getafe go away to play Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey. On Wednesday, we will see the Battle of the Nigerians with Tolua Kodare's Genk playing Rafael Yedika's Club Bruges. So look out for that one in the Belgian Cup, 8:45 p.m. Belgian in Belgium. And I believe the Belgian Cup games are on ESPN, but check in Nigeria. And then on Thursday, we'll see Umar Sadiq's Valencia host Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. Probably going to get whitewashed, but hey, we'll see how the game goes. And then over the weekend, on Saturday in FA Cup games, Alex Iwobi and Calvin Bassey's Fulham go away to play Wigan Athletic, who famously won the trophy about, is it 12 years ago now? The same year they got relegated. Joaribo and Polonwachi, hopefully they can keep up their winning ways when they host Burnley, who are one of the better teams in the championship. 4 p.m. kickoff in Nigeria in the FA Cup. And then we'll see Samuel Chukwueze's AC Milan go away to play Empoli in Serie A. They really need that win, so fingers crossed for them. And then on Sunday, hopefully we'll see Akko Adams start and Ejuke start, but we'll see the Sevilla boys host Barcelona at the Sanchez Pizjuan at 9 p.m. Nigerian time on Sunday. So that's it in terms of the ones to watch for the coming week. Starboy of the week, bronze medal. I'm going to give it to Joaribo for his goal for Southampton. Actually, I'm going to share the bronze. Joaribo for his goal for Southampton to make it 1-1. And we know we led them to their win. It's still the Premier League, so you have to always give your props when you shine. Also, I want to give Victor Boniface a shout out for scoring on his return for Bayer Leverkusen. You can't imagine the life of a professional footballer when your head has been turned by Saudi money. You're probably already thinking about what you're going to earn. But to get your head back into the game and still play for Leverkusen, who you know are doing quite incredibly well, and I've given you the platform to really make a name for yourself in the top 5 league, I think it's really commendable from Boniface, and he should be praised. His time to make the Saudi bread will come for sure, as long as he keeps doing his thing. So shout out to you, Boniface, for that. Silver medal, I'm going to give it to Polonwachi. Second Premier League goal and late winner for Southampton. I mean, when you make a name in the Premier League and you do the business, we have to shout you out each and every single time. And then my gold medal this week, even though he's yet to play tonight, is also Victor Osimhen. He scored 4 goals in his last 5 games, 7 goals and 1 assist in his last 8 games. Yes, because he's playing in Turkey, he might go under the radar, but we know he did the business as well for Galatasaray when they played Ajax, and he continues to shine and flourish. But for his past work over the past week, it's been a bit of a struggle week for Nigerians, but I'll give it to Victor Osimhen as Starboy of the Week. So that's it for this episode of the podcast. Thanks again for rocking with me. Remember, I'm looking for feedback on the new setup and concept. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and click the bell for a notification so you do not miss any episodes we drop on YouTube. We're also beginning to split the episodes so that you could get them in your listening pleasure whenever you want and need. And until next time, take care and peace out.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigeriano the Ever Carry Last.